Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the biggest nose, Jay-Z Courtside, coming at y'all today on Friday, May 8th. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. So happy to see y'all today. I hope your basketball team won last night because mine did again, 5 in a row. I hope everybody's doing absolutely phenomenal. Welcome on in. You guys already probably know what we're doing today, right? We're going to break down the Pistons-Cavs game. My prediction was right. And we're going to break down the Thunder-Lakers game. My prediction was right, but it was unfortunately a little bit too right for most Lakers fans out there. All right? Guys, today's show is going to be pretty straightforward. I said yesterday would be a short episode. It was about 45 minutes. That's not as short as I would like, but hopefully today we can aim around the same way. I have a lot to talk about today. I have a lot of points to make. And, you know, I probably should have, I forgot to take my notes today, and I probably should have because I have a lot of notes. I have a lot. All right. Podcast listeners, shout out to y'all. You know I love y'all. Be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. I'm talking to you guys listening on Spotify and Apple. Everybody in the TikTok, YouTube, thank you guys for watching. As always, be sure to drop some likes, follow, subscribes, all that jazz. Twitch chat, you guys already know what y'all got to do, man. Y'all already know what you got to do. All you guys got to do is sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, an energy drink, whatever, and enjoy the show. We're going to talk about the Pistons Cavs first. We're going to talk about Pistons and Cavs first. But before I do, hopefully this will be like sort of a rehook for my Thunder and Laker fans out there in this world. Okay. Hopefully use this one statement that I'm going to say as a rehook. Lakers fans, you didn't lose because of the refs. You didn't. 20 turnovers. You're complaining about you're complaining about officiating, right? You did not lose because of officiating. Don't buy it. Now, with that topic, with that note, let's save that for later into the show. Let's go ahead and get started with the Pistons defending home court, winning both games, going 2-0 as they head to Ohio. Final score 107-97. The Detroit Pistons lead this series 2-0. It's nowhere near over. I have a lot to talk about. And honestly, where else to start than, how about we start with the Cavaliers, eh? Let's start with the Cavaliers. Let's start with what went wrong for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then we'll talk about what went right with the Cavaliers, okay? Well, first and foremost, we have to talk about one man in particular, and his name is James Harden. James Harden. We got to talk about him, all right? So James Harden last night had 10 points. He shot the Detroit area code, 3 for 13. Shot out the 3-1-3. Detroit versus everybody. He had 4 turnovers. 0 for 4 from 3. He was a minus 15 on the court. James Harden shooting the Detroit area code 3-1-3 in honor of Detroit. Cavs fans told me that he wouldn't get more turnovers than field goals made again. Eddie in the TikTok has come to realization as well. He said he's going to come in on Friday and talk shit to me, even though I haven't talked shit about the Cavs. You guys know me. I'm a very objective fan. There's no subjectivity from me, okay? There's none. I talk about everything objectively. And from what I saw in Game 1 versus Game 2, the Cavaliers actually did a lot of things better than they did in Game 1. I was just promised that had they done those right things, they'd beat the Pistons. Well, unfortunately, it was the opposite. They did the things they said that if they don't do, they'd win the game. And they still lost by 10. Help me figure that out. If you did exactly what you said you won't do again, and you still lose by the same amount of points, when does it become concerning to Cavs fans out there? James Harden last night, I'm seeing the same common takes about he's a playoff dropper. He can't compete in the playoffs. He's always been this way. And all I have to say is yes and no. Yes and no. First and foremost, I have to say this. James Harden, he looked like James Harden last night. The issue is he can't compete against elite defense anymore. He can't. He can't. He cannot compete. Not in the playoffs. I think in the regular season, James Harden will still be a great plug six-man. But he cannot compete in the playoffs anymore, especially after a 7-game playoff series. He can't. He doesn't have it in him anymore. You see the grays in his beard. You see how old he is. He cannot compete against this. Now, to James Harden's credit, and I have to give James Harden credit here, he did one thing that almost helped the Cavaliers win last night. He did one thing. You know what I'm talking about, right, Cavs fans? Pistons fans, you know what I'm talking about, right? The one thing that James Harden did right last night? Well, he foul baited. Again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. I went back and counted because I watched this game twice. I went back and counted. James Harden last night, he didn't draw 2 fouls. He didn't draw 5 fouls. Hell, he didn't even draw 10 fouls last night. James Harden, the beard, he drew 12 fouls last night. 12. I got to repeat myself. 12 fouls last night. And most of them were the same ordeal. You guys, podcast listeners, I'm sorry if you're not watching and you're audio only. You can probably imagine what I'm about to do when I'm silent right now. Are you ready? Sorry, podcast listeners. You guys are probably wondering why I was so silent. I was basically doing the head bob, the famous head bob, the James Harden patented head bob that every player copies now. James Harden last night got Ausar Thompson, the best perimeter defender in the entire NBA, in foul trouble. James Harden didn't allow Ausar Thompson to play basketball last night. James Harden elbowed Ausar in the forehead. Ausar put his hand on his back and he threw himself forward, got a foul. James Harden was head bobbing all night long, and maybe it made him dizzy. Maybe it gave him whiplash. Maybe it gave him a concussion because he couldn't score after that. He got Ausar out, but at what cost? What did it cost you? Brain cells? What did it cost you? You couldn't shoot. You couldn't see anything. And you know what the funniest part about all of this is? The funniest part about all of this, ladies and gentlemen, is that when you take Ausar Thompson out, you think, oh man, thank God. Now I get a break. Now I get a break. Well, it's unfortunate because when Ausar Thompson comes out, who comes in for him? Bron Holland. Bron Holland. You fouled out Ausar. You got Ausar in foul trouble. And for what? And for what? So Ron Holland, a second-year player, can lock you up for the other 15 minutes? What did you benefit for getting Ausar out by bringing Ron Holland in? Because he couldn't score on Ausar. He couldn't score on Cade. He couldn't score on Ron. None of it was working. And you know when I know Harden's team is losing? When he starts talking shit. When he starts getting angry. When he starts talking shit to the guys guarding him. That's when I know the opposing team wins. Because when James Harden starts talking shit to the guy guarding him, you know they're already in his head. James Harden talked shit to 2 guys last night. You know who those 2 guys were? Ausar Thompson and Ron Holland. They had my man in prison, just as I predicted it. Now, if you guys remember, I said a lot of things for this series. I predicted a lot of things. I called a lot of things. Ange, come through to the Twitch stream. What are you doing over there in the TikTok? I predicted a lot. One thing I predicted, word for word, go watch yesterday's podcast. I said, and I quote, let Donovan Mitchell get 30 last night. Let him get 30. Let him get 30. I don't care. I said, I don't care. Let Donovan Mitchell get 30. So long as you don't allow Evan Mobley to make an impact onto this game and score 20, you win. Every day of the week, you beat the Cavaliers if you limit Evan Mobley. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get off of James Harden's back real quick, and I'm going to talk about, in my opinion, the second most overrated player in the entire NBA. You got Baby Jokic at number 1, Alperen Şengün. And you got Evan Mobley right there at number 2. The second most overrated player in the entire NBA. Evan Mobley in 36 minutes scored 9 points, 4 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks. He did his thing defensively. 2 turnovers. And this is the big number. You're a 7-footer being paid $60 million. $63 million next year, I believe. This guy's making $63 million next year. 63. I need you. That's more than Karl Anthony Towns. That's more than Devin Booker. That's more than almost every superstar in the entire NBA. That's how much you're paying Evan Mobley. And he got 1 rebound. One. He couldn't score on Duren. Duren couldn't score on him, so they cancel each other out. But as long as you cancel out Evan Mobley, you win this game. You win. Evan Mobley in 36 minutes got 1 rebound. And they thought bringing James Harden, one of the softest players in the NBA history, they thought that would make Evan Mobley tougher. Jared Allen stepped up. Donovan Mitchell stepped up. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. And TikTok, I would love for you guys to come through to the Twitch stream. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. I'd love for you guys to come through. I have a very important, very interesting stat for you guys, okay? They asked Donovan Mitchell after the game, in the post-game interview, Donovan, you guys really got going in the third quarter. You guys had your highest scoring quarter of the series in that third quarter, 32 points. Did you guys find an exploit that you could utilize in game 3? And Donovan Mitchell smiled. Jared Allen smiled and leaned into the mic and said, yes. And Donovan Mitchell's not lying when he says yes. They did find an exploit. They did. You know what the exploit they're referring to is? Getting Asar Thompson in foul trouble. Foul baiting. Bob that head as much as possible. Swing that dome beyond the court. Keep swinging that head until the ref will call it. And last night it worked. They got Asar Thompson out of the third quarter within 25 seconds. Asar Thompson played 25 seconds in the third quarter. So the Cavaliers had their highest point total in the third quarter. Is that a surprise? That Donovan Mitchell scored 11 or 12 points on Karis LeVert? No, that's not a surprise. You got Asar Thompson in foul trouble. You got him in foul trouble. And you then go and cook. He scored 11 points in the third quarter, all on Karis LeVert guarding him. And that is their exploit. If you get rid of Asar Thompson, you can score the basketball. How insane is that? Asar Thompson comes into the fourth quarter and nobody does anything. Nobody does anything. Now, I'll talk about the Pistons and what they did right here in a second. Because I still have a lot of people saying, the Pistons just aren't that good. Well, people told me that the Pistons their gameplay wouldn't survive in the playoffs. This team was quite literally built for the playoffs. And anybody that tells you they're not, they don't watch basketball. They only watch playoff basketball, and they don't know what does well in the playoffs. And what we're seeing right now is the three-point revolution come to a close in this playoff series. K-Dot, shout out to you for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. We have 185 people in the TikTok. I need to see some of you guys come through to the Twitch. It's a much better viewing experience over here, guys. If you watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will personally gift you a $6 subscription so you no longer get ads, all right? Now, we got to continue talking. We got to continue talking about the Cavaliers. They did everything they said they wouldn't do in game 2. That's what they said. The Cleveland Cavaliers only hit 7 threes last night, looking like the Pistons of the regular season. The Pistons shot 50% from 3. You know how many of those were wide open? Out of the 14 threes they hit, 13 of them were open. 13 were open, wide open, considered open on the NBA advanced stats. The Cleveland Cavaliers had the refs in their throats last night. 27 free throws. Cavs fans said if they get more free throws, they win the game. Well, you got more and you lost. The Cavaliers got out-rebounded. The Cavaliers got out-assisted. The Cavaliers got out-stealed. The Pistons, I don't know how to word that. The Cavs had one more block. The Cavs had 11 turnovers. They had 8 in the first half. They only had 11. You guys had 20 in game 1. I was told if you get 2 less turnovers, you win game 1. You had 11 turnovers, less than the Pistons. The Pistons had 13. And somehow the Pistons won by 10. So you guys cut your turnovers exactly in half. Still lost by the same amount as game 1. I was told if you just get 18 turnovers, you win. That's what I was told. I was told if you get more free throws, you win. That's what I was told. They scored more points in the paint. They scored more on second chance points. Pistons committed more fouls. So, all in all, I'm going to say this again, and I want everybody to hear me. The Cleveland Cavaliers are the most expensive team in the entire NBA right now. They are the most expensive team in the NBA right now. The Cavaliers didn't make a single three-pointer in the fourth quarter. They went 0 for 11, I believe. You are the most expensive team in the NBA. The Pistons are a bottom 10, I believe, in money, in salary. I have to fact check that. The Pistons are bottom 8 in salary right now. Bottom 8. I need you guys to see the teams that are around the Pistons salary-wise. The Nets, the Grizzlies, the Jazz, the Bulls, the Bucks. All lottery teams. The Hawks, that's great. Mavs, lottery team. The Spurs, that's incredible. Pistons, Hornets, lottery team. Heat, lottery team. Pacers, lottery team. Blazers, not a lottery team, but yeah, you know. Magic, you know what I'm saying? And Magic climb up to the third most expensive team next year. And all the way at the top, you have the Cleveland Cavaliers, the most expensive roster in the NBA. The most expensive roster in the entire NBA. And you know what's funny? The Magic will have the same amount of salary next year. They owe $216 million next year. The Magic do. The Cavaliers owe $218 million next year. So all of this is to say, are what the Pistons doing sustainable? Let's talk about what the Pistons did right. Let's talk about what the Pistons did right, okay? Yes, the Pistons shot 50% from 3. Will they shoot 50% again from 3? Probably not. Will they hit 14 threes again? Probably not. One thing I'll say the Cleveland Cavaliers have done immaculately. And by the way, Mud and KXN, thank you guys so much for the follows on Twitch. I hope you guys come through to the Twitch stream. Guys, if you do join the Twitch, be sure to join the Discord as well. Can we get an exclamation point Discord in the chat? I appreciate you. Let's talk about what the Cavs did right for the Pistons. They completely eliminated the Pistons 1-2 punch of Cade and Duren. You guys saw what happened in the fourth quarter. You guys saw what happened in the fourth quarter in game 1. Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren's two-man game tore them up, and the Pistons won the game. In this game, they didn't allow Cade to pass to Duren a single time. A single time. So Duren's offensive game was very limited last night again. The good thing is Jalen Duren. Don't listen to the casuals right now. Jalen Duren is playing so much better than he did in the first series. So much better. In fact, Jalen Duren is playing so incredibly well this round that he doesn't need to score. He doesn't need to score, guys, at all, because he's putting in the most important thing that you could possibly do on the basketball court. Do you guys know what that thing is? Effort. Effort. Stu, thank you for the gifted sub. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you. He's giving effort. He's not allowing Mobley to dominate the glass. He allowed Evan Mobley to get 1 rebound all last night. 1 rebound. A $60 million player getting 1 rebound. That's who he's limiting. Now, you might say Jalen Duren shot 2 for 7. He was 4 for 6 from the free throw line. He had 8 points and 10 rebounds, 2 of them offensive. Jalen Duren is playing defense for the first time in his career. I have never seen Jalen Duren play this well on defense in his entire career, ever. Ever. I've been watching Jalen Duren since a rookie. I have never seen Jalen Duren play this well defensively, ever. Let's talk about other guys. Duncan Robinson poured in another 5 threes last night. I said that probably won't happen. I said he'll probably aim around 3 or 4. Duncan Robinson, 6 for 12 last night. He had 17 points. He had 19 in game 1. Duncan had 17 in game 2. A Cavs fan said Duncan Robinson won't score 19 again. And I said in response, Max Strus won't score 19 again. And Max Strus finished with 3 points, 1 for 6. And you know what the most embarrassing thing of all that Max Strus finished with last night? How about an ankle breaker, tween step back in your fucking mouth? Excuse my French. From Cade Parker Cunningham. That's what he left last night with. That's what he left with last night. Absolutely got his ankles used and abused, and Cade sealed the deal right over his dome. And funniest part about this entire clip is Amen Thompson, not Asar Thompson, Amen Thompson, the player of the Houston Rockets, is right here. If you guys see where my mouse is. TikTok, you guys can't see it. You can only see it in the Twitch stream. Shout out to Andy for coming through to the Twitch. All you see, Amen Thompson and Amen and Asar's dad. As soon as Cade crosses him over, before Cade's shot even goes in, there's Amen in the bottom left of the screen celebrating the shot as if he's a player on the Pistons. Celebrating Cade Cunningham's shot. You see him biting his lips because of how nasty that play was. You know what face he's making. You know the face. You know the face that Amen is making. And, well, now that we're on the topic of Cade Cunningham, let's talk about Cade Cunningham. For the first 3 quarters of the game, he wasn't looking to score. And I've seen this before with Cade. Cade is a very unique player. And this might be the first time some of you guys are actually watching Cade Cunningham. So let me describe what it is you're watching. Cade Cunningham, throughout the regular season, this year, it's been something new that he's been doing. He sort of coasts for the first 3 quarters, only playing defense and getting assists. And he like studies how they're playing him. For 3 quarters, he studies how they're playing him. Once he learns how they're playing him, in the 4th quarter, he turns it on. And that's why he's been so much fun to watch. Because Cade Cunningham last night, through 3 quarters, I believe he only had 13 points. Yeah, he had 13 points. And then in the 4th quarter, Cade Parker Cunningham scores 12 points, gets a steal, gets a block. That block on Dennis Schroeder sealed the game, and then that step back was the dagger. It's unbelievable what Cade Parker Cunningham can do. And you know what? Now that we're talking about Cade, let's talk about this. Cade Cunningham has the most consecutive 20-point games to begin a playoff career by a guard ever. Ever. Cade has not scored below 20 in the playoffs in his playoff career yet. Cade. That's right. He has not scored below 20 in a playoff game yet. And that's what Cade has been doing. The way Cade has been moving, the way Cade has been playing, it's borderline unfair. He's in a category of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, and Anthony Davis of the only players ever to start their career off like this in the playoffs. They said Cade wasn't a playoff riser. Do you guys know what Cade's averages are in these playoffs? Let's look it up. Cade Cunningham, last 9 games. You guys ready to have your minds blown? In the playoffs, in all the playoffs, Cade Cunningham is shooting 45% from the field and 41% from 3. I got to repeat myself again. He's shooting 45% from the field and 41% from 3. Let's make this even more fun. Let's do the last 5 games. So counting our 5-game winning streak, because the Pistons are on a 5-game winning streak right now. In this 5-game winning streak, get ready, Cade Cunningham is shooting 47.5% from the field. Are you ready? 55% from 3. This is a 3-level scorer, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 3-level scorer. These threes, he's only had 1 or 2 in a catch and shoot opportunity. In these last 5 games, he's had 2 catch and shoot threes. All the rest of these threes that he's taken, so 29 of them, have been off the dribble. I'm creating my own. He is shooting 55% from 3. and 48% from the field in his last 5 games. The Pistons have won 5 playoff games in a row. And you know what? It would be a disservice to not credit one man in particular, not named Cade Cunningham. So let's give him a quick shout out real quick, because without this guy, where would the Pistons be right now? Tobias Harris. Yes, Tobias Harris over me. Over the last 7 games, he had scored 20 plus points in every single game. 23 points, 20 points, 23 points, 22 points, 30 points in a game 7, 20 points, 21 points. Playoff Tobias Harris. And people wanted him gone. And I told everybody, you can't trade Tobias. He's the heart of this team. You can't trade him. And people wanted him gone. And now you have Tobias Harris as the number 2 option for Cade Cunningham, which is unbelievable. And you know what? I got to go in the whole line, man. I got to go in the whole line, guys. I have to go through the whole line. As long as you have Cade Cunningham and Asar Thompson on your team, you're a contender for the next 10 years. Plain and simple. Duncan Robinson, again, he was insane. I already talked about him. Jalen Duren, as soon as he starts making these layups and dunks, the Pistons will be unbeatable, because what he's doing on the glass and what he's doing defensively has been incredible. And again, with Cade Cunningham, bro, you guys are watching him, right? Defensively and offensively, he's doing it all. He's doing it. He was the primary matchup on James Harden, and he couldn't score. Arguably one of the best two-way players in the NBA. Dennis Jenkins has stepped up 3 games in a row, having double-digit scoring. Dennis Jenkins is oozing confidence. I'm talking oozing confidence right now. Yes, user, I do. User and Andy, thank you guys for the follows on Twitch. I appreciate y'all very, very much. Thank you guys for the follows on Twitch. If you guys want to have a conversation with me, all you guys got to do is talk with me on the topic and I can respond to it, all right? And TikTok, again, it's a much better viewing experience over here in the Twitch. I'd love for you guys to come through. Dennis Jenkins is oozing confidence. And all I got to say, Stu, I love you, baby. Stu, you got to get some rest, bro. I hope they sit him out for the rest of the series. He needs rest. His knee is hurting. His knee is buckling underneath him every time he jumps. He can't jump right now. Stu can't jump. You have B-Ball Paul. Use B-Ball Paul. Stu is hurt right now. They haven't disclosed anything. Stu is hurt right now. I see it. Fans see it. The players see it. He's hobbling out there. Play B-Ball Paul. There's no reason B-Ball Paul is getting DNPs. Rest Stu. You're going to need him against the Knicks if you play them in the conference finals. Karis LeVert. Listen, man. Karis LeVert, he had 8 points. He did his thing, and I'm happy. I'm happy he did that. Karis LeVert, he had 8 points, which is big. My only complaint, and this isn't even his fault, man. This isn't his fault. He got absolutely torched by Donovan Mitchell in the 3rd quarter. And that's because Asar Thompson was out with foul trouble. Asar only played 25 seconds in the 3rd quarter. LeVert had the primary matchup against Donovan Mitchell. He can't guard Donovan Mitchell. So yes, Karis LeVert scored 8, which might be his highest point total in the last 6 months. Donovan Mitchell put 11 on his head in the 3rd quarter, and he put even more on in the 2nd quarter. And yeah, Karis LeVert, Ron Holland did as good as you can play defense. He didn't score last night. He got free throws. He didn't need to get a bucket. He was there defensively, and Ron, I want more minutes out of him. If Asar's in foul trouble, I need more minutes from Ron Holland. And then Paul Reed, he needs to play. There's no reason Paul Reed's not playing. He needs to play. If Stu is hurt, you got to play B-Ball Paul. I don't think Marcus Sasser should be playing over Karis LeVert. No, Sasser's too small. Shad and Hancho, thank you guys so much for the follows on Twitch. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Shout out to you guys who are leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. It's a much better viewing experience over here, guys. We do these episodes Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. And I would like to say, if you watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will personally gift you a $6 subscription. Be sure to join the Discord server as well. It's a much, you're selling if you don't join our Discord server. JB Bickerstaff, that's the only reason why Paul Reed isn't playing. He should be playing right now. Paul Reed is a guy to change the tone, and I think that's what they're saving him for. He changes the tone of a game with his chaos. So, any other fun notes I have from this game? Fun notes. I thought a really fun note was when, what's it called? When Asar hit that buzzer-beating shot at the shot clock in the 4th quarter, and they waved it off. Asar Thompson hit a 3, and his jumper was beautiful. But it was just a hair too late. But yeah, man, Asar, you got that green light, bro. I want you to take those threes. I want you to. Also, I would like to share this. Asar Thompson has the most steals and blocks in the playoffs. He's got 36. Guys, he's got 36 steals and blocks total. Stocks. So let's just say stocks. He's got 36 stocks in the playoffs right now. 36. And he only played 24 minutes tonight. That's it. That's it. That's it. Before you switch off the Pistons to the other game, why have we only worn white jerseys? Because for some reason, our opponents keep picking dark jerseys, so we're not allowed to wear our different jerseys. It's BS. Like, why are we wearing our white jerseys every time? It's dumb. It's dumb. Yeah, I want to start pulling it. His jumper looks much better. Now, I mean, what other fun facts do I have? What other fun facts do I have? I think I've nailed, I guess this. Nick Wright hates James Harden, but it's still a valid complaint. Today was James Harden's 182nd career playoff game. It was his 36th time he's had 3 or fewer field goals made. Nearly 20% of his career playoff games. It was the 46th time that he's had as many or more turnovers than made field goals. More than a quarter of his career playoff games. I mean, hey, man. I mean, hey, this isn't new. This isn't new. They traded Darius Garland for a guy in James Harden. It makes no sense to me. And here's the thing. Donovan Mitchell complained about fouls, and then they got fouls. And this is my final note. This is my final note that I got to say, man. This is my final note. That's it. That's it. Pistons win. It'll be interesting to see what can happen in game 3. All I'll say is must win for the Pistons. Must win. They must win game 3. This series is far from over. Far from over. They need to win in game 3. Cleveland is undefeated at home. So we'll see what happens. Take Reed better than Duren. He just needs better ball. No, Reed is not better than Duren. No, Paul Reed can cause chaos, and he does this thing well. And they bring him in to change the momentum of games. But B-Ball Paul does need minutes. He needs minutes. He absolutely needs minutes. Because what's it called? Because Stu is hurt. And also, for anybody that was talking about the ankle breaker, because I see TikTok Cavs fans are talking about, yeah, well, at least Donovan Mitchell broke Tobias Harris's ankles. You probably didn't see this, but Donovan Mitchell pushes Tobias Harris's leg in, and that's why his hip got busted up. So just so you know, just so you're clear, just so everybody knows, it was not an ankle breaker. Donovan Mitchell quite literally pushes Tobias Harris's thigh inward. And that's what happened. Before we move on, I'd like to give a couple special shout outs to Jiggy and Riley. Thank you guys so much for the follows on Twitch. I appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate y'all so very much. It truly, truly, truly means the world, guys. Thank y'all so much for coming through to the Twitch. It's a much better viewing experience over here. It's a much better overall experience over here. And remember, if you guys watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will personally gift you a $6 subscription. All right? So you no longer get ads. And be sure to join the Discord, guys. My final note on this game, and this is insane to say, Knicks fans, Thunder fans, Pistons fans, I'm speaking to all of you guys. All 3 of your teams are 6 wins away from making the finals. For the Thunder, they're 6 wins away from trying to go back-to-back, be the first team that goes back-to-back in the last 7 years. For the Knicks, it'll be the first time you reach the finals. Help me, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it 99 that they made the finals? It was 99, right? Or was that the conference finals? Was it 98? No, it wasn't 98. It was 99, I think they made the finals, right? It was the lockout season? Yeah, it was 99. For the Knicks, they are 6 wins away from making the finals for the first time in 27 years. They're 6 wins away. And for the Pistons, they are 6 wins away from making the finals in 21 years. 6 wins. That's all. These series are not over yet. They're not. There's still plenty of time for all these 3 teams to come back, except for the Lakers. Never mind. Sorry, there's plenty of time for the Sixers. Well, the Sixers suck. Okay, there's still time for the Cavs to come back. There's still time. There's still time. Okay, guys. Before we move on, again, TikTok, you're selling if you don't come through to the Twitch stream, guys. And remember, like I said, if you watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will personally gift you a $6 subscription so you do not get ads. Guys, let's move on. Let's move on to the Lakers Thunder. Thunder lead the series 2-0. Thunder defend home court and head to LA. Final score 125-107. Let's talk about this one, man. I actually have more to talk about than the last game. I do. I'm more to talk about than their game 1. All right. Now, where do I start? Yeah, that's right. Let me start with what the biggest controversy of last night was. Guys, can we get some gifted subs for the people complaining about ads? I have them off. Guys, like I said, all y'all got to do. Can somebody put in bold ammo? Can you do me a favor and spam all caps lock in the chat and send it like 5 times? Like, if you watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, Jay-Z will gift you a sub. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just spam that message like 5 times in a row so they see that, the ones that are in the ads. I would appreciate that. Okay, let's talk about the most controversial part of this game. The refs. Now, let's talk about this. Do the Oklahoma City Thunder have a better whistle than any other team in the NBA? Thunder fans, I want you to respond to me. Do they have a better whistle than every team in the NBA? I'm speaking to my Thunder fans directly. They do. They have a better whistle. They do. Are the Oklahoma City Thunder allowed to play differently than most teams in the NBA? I'm going to end the TikTok, actually. If you guys want to watch the stream, because we haven't even started talking about this game, be sure to come through the Twitch. I'm going to end the TikTok right now, so come through to the Twitch, guys. The remaining episode will be all on the Twitch stream. Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. Link in my bio. Okay. I'm seeing that you guys say yes. Thank you, Ammo, for that. I appreciate it. Now, let's talk about this game. Yes, the Thunder have a better whistle. Yes, the Thunder can play a little bit more aggressive. Yes, they do. I owe Bam a sub after the stream. I owe Bam a sub for watching 3 in a row. I owe him. So Bam, remind me after this. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. And guys, remember, if you watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will personally gift you a sub. All right. So thank you. Okay. So the Lakers, why did they lose this game? It's not because of the officiating. It's not because of the officiating. The Lakers did not lose this game because of the officiating. They had 20 turnovers. The Lakers had 20 turnovers, bro. You're not going to win on the road in one of the most hostile arenas in the NBA with 20 turnovers. Sorry, the Lakers had 21 turnovers. 21. Share the streak, Raz. 21. Free. Thank you for the follow on Twitch, homie. I appreciate you a lot, bro. Welcome. The issue is the players. The issue is the players, not the whistle. The Lakers had 21 free throws. The Thunder had 26 free throws. Should Chet have been, did he flop? Yes. Did Chet flop? Absolutely. Did SGA exaggerate contact? Yes. Did Chet flop again? Sure. Is that the reason why they lost by 18? No. The Lakers allowed the refs to control this game mentally, physically, statistically, everywhere. They allowed the refs to get in their head, and they lost this game. Last night, the Cavs were getting every single call. If you watch that Pistons-Cavs game, the Cavs got every single call, every single one. The Pistons didn't allow the referees to take them out of the game. So here's the thing. When your team relies on free throws to win a basketball game, you're not going to win much. You're not. The Thunder can attack from anywhere. They can attack anybody from anywhere at any time. We all know how great Shea is. We all know they have nobody for Chet Holmgren on that team. He had 22 last night, back-to-back 20-plus point games. AJ Mitchell, they got nobody for him. Shea, they got nobody for him. Cason Wallace, they got nobody for him. Jared McCain, Wow, Philly, aren't you guys punching air right now? The issue is depth. And everybody says depth doesn't matter in the playoffs. They say it about my Pistons all the time. Depth doesn't matter. But how come it matters for the Thunder, but it doesn't matter for the Pistons? The Thunder's backup to their backups are better than 15 starting lineups in the NBA this season. The guys that don't see the court, they're better than the Bulls. They're better than the Nets. They're third stringers. They're better than the Pelicans. They're better than the Pacers. They're better than so many of these teams. Depth has literally won every single final series since 2019, and I've been preaching that all season long. Hartenstein was incredible last night. Jared McCain had 18 off the bench, hit 4 threes. Jay Will, 7 points. Isaiah Joe even poured in 4. Cason Wallace, 12. This team has so many players. Free re-up Dev and DT. Thank you guys so much for the follows on Twitch. I appreciate y'all very much. Remember, if you guys watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will personally gift you guys a $6 subscription. Again, people are asking me questions that are off topic. Okay. I will respond to that when we get to that topic. All right. Jay Will had 2 rebounds, but it felt like way more because he was boxing out like crazy. Man, listen, this game, it was a beatdown in the second half. It was a beatdown. The OKC Thunder, the Thunder scored 36 to the Lakers 22 in the third quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, they scored 32 with their bench unit to the Lakers for 27. The biggest issue is not the officiating. It's not. Lakers are so accustomed to leading every game with free throws to where they don't lead the game with free throws because they can't defend. They freak out. Now, Austin Reeves, I'll give him credit. He had a pretty good game. But again, he was too focused on the free throws. He had 10 free throws last night, but he had 31 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds. He had a great game, 10 for 16 from the field. Marcus Smart's got the automatic green light, 4 for 13. JJ Redick hates DeAndre Ayton because he's bad in this matchup, 1 for 17. Sorry, 1 for 7. Rui, 6 for 10, still automatic, just not enough shots. LeBron, 9 for 18. I knew he would have as good as a game as he did before. Yes, the officiating has been bad. It's been bad. It's been bad in every series. It's been bad. If you guys have watched these playoffs, this is the worst officiating I've ever seen. And the referee last night for this game was John Goble. John Goble, I've been trying to tell everybody, is more stubborn and hard-headed than Tony Brothers. I've never met an official more hard-headed and stubborn than John Goble, that bald-headed loser. Ejects players for no reasons, texts players for no reasons, rewards flopping like no other ref in the NBA does. John Goble and Tyler Ford deserve the... I was going to say something insane, but I'm not going to say it. Why'd I just get reported on TikTok? All right, bro. Whatever. We're live on Twitch, TikTok. Fuck y'all, bro. I just got banned. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue with this podcast without the TikTok because they're hoeing me. All right, guys, be sure to join the Discord. My only other notes that I have is that this was a good bench game for the Los Angeles Lakers. This is a good bench game. Lakers fans, I know this sounds scary, but this was a good bench game. Luke Kennard poured in 10. Jackson Hayes had 6. You had 16 points off your bench. That's better than what you guys have been doing all season long. 16 points. You know how many bench points the Thunder had? Do you know how many they had, bro? Let's see. 30 between Jared McCain and Cason Wallace. 2 players, double what the Lakers bench have. 35. Still going. 42. Still going. 46. They had 48 bench points. The Oklahoma City Thunder had 48 bench points. The Lakers had 16. You wonder why you lost? I knew this narrative would happen when the Lakers were in the playoffs, especially against the Thunder. I knew this would happen because people think the Lakers are a good team. The Lakers are not a good basketball team. With Luka Doncic, without Luka Doncic. I don't relish in saying this. I don't. Lakers fans, I'm sorry. Most Lakers fans don't watch the NBA. They just tune in for the playoffs. And they wonder why they're losing. Oh, the refs hate us. The refs hate us. The refs hate us. This is BS. It's not BS. I'm afraid to tell you it's not BS. This is roster construction. And what the Lakers don't have is a good roster. The Lakers played no defense last night, and the Thunder dominated them from every statistical point last night. Every statistical point. They out-rebounded them. They out-assisted them, out-stole them, out-blocked them. The Lakers didn't have a single block. The Lakers had 21 turnovers. The Thunder scored 26 off those turnovers. The Thunder had 14 fast break points. The Lakers scored 6 more points in the paint, but it didn't matter. The Thunder had 17 second chance points. The Lakers committed 5 more fouls than the Thunder did. Shea got called for a flagrant foul. All I have to say is, do I have anybody in here that genuinely thinks, the Lakers got hoed by the refs this game? I gotta figure out if I have some Twitter fans, NBA Twitter fans in this stream, because there's no way watching this game you can genuinely say the refs costed us this game. Were there bad calls? Sure. Do I think any team can beat the Thunder with how the officials ref them? It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult because defending champions, ladies and gentlemen, they get the better whistle. The MVP gets a better whistle. I'm sorry. This is a reputation sport. This is a reputation sport. In fact, I'm willing to go so far as to say what Mark just said, my Magic fan in the chat. He said if there were no refs on the court, the Lakers would still lose. If there were no refs on the court, they would lose by 100. Because then Dort, Caruso, Cason Wallace, Shea, Chet, Isaiah Hartenstein, everybody's unleashed to play however they want on defense. Remember that word I said that Jalen Duren is doing the best right now I've ever seen him? Remember that one word, the E word, effort? Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes basketball is defined by that word. You may not be as talented. You may not have the star power. You may not have the athleticism. But if you have the effort, if you put more effort than your opponent, you are always in a game. Always. Doesn't matter. It could be pickup ball. It could be, we all remember playing pickup ball when we were kids, right? And you get the team of the football players. You get the white football players on your team that don't know how to shoot, don't know how to dribble. They just throw their shoulder into you and go for layups. Those guys won a lot of pickup games back in the day on the playground. They won a lot of them because the other guys settle for jump shots. They don't have the effort. They think it's an easy win, so they don't really try. That's all it comes down to. Yes, the Thunder have arguably the best roster in the NBA, but they also are putting the most effort than almost every other team in the NBA. Almost everyone. Now, and I have another genuine question for you guys. Who's the best player in this series? I want you guys to answer. I don't even need to say it. You guys know who the best player in the series is, even though he hasn't really had to do anything yet this series. Okay, now I have another question. Who's the best who's the best player in the Wolves-Spurs series? It could go hand in hand, but I think we all agree that it's probably the alien because Ant is hurt. Okay, now let's go to the Knicks series. Who's the best player in that series? Honestly, you can pick whoever you want, but I think we all know the little guy with a big head that I'm talking about. And then let's go to the Pistons-Cavs series. Who's the best player there? It's no surprise what we're seeing. It's no surprise what we're seeing right now. It's no surprise what we're seeing right now. Why you have 3 series that are up 2-0. One series that's 1-1. It's no surprise. Each of those teams, anybody that says Brunson is by far the best player in that Knicks series. Let's be so real. Let's be so real. What are you guys saying? The glass bones and paper skin guy? The guy that, okay, I'm not doing that. My point being is, yes, it helps having the best player in a series. It does. But what matters more is how much effort these teams are or how much effort these guys are putting in. And right now, the Thunder are just doing it on both ends. They're doing it on both ends. And Thunder fans, I would like to, if I had flowers, I'd give you to them. I'd give them to you. I'd like to give Thunder their flowers. I haven't given y'all credit all year. Man. I love Shea. Yeah, he's got an unfair whistle. I love Chet. Yeah, he's a flopper. I love that team, man. I love that team. I think they're cornballs. That's okay. I think they're incredible at basketball. My whole point is I love defense. And, their defense, I love it. Do they have an unfair whistle? Yes, they're the defending champions. Do they maybe get away with a lot of things defensively? Yes, they're the defending champions. Chat, when you earn these awards and you earn the championship, you get these unfair advantages. Every player, every team, every season, there's been a team that gets the benefit. The Lakers were the benefactor. What's the word? Benefactories? The benefactors. The Lakers were the benefactors for the last 26 years of foul calls. They were the benefactors. And now, look at how the tide is changing a little bit. Look at how upset they are when they're not getting these calls. Look how upset they are. They got the calls for 26 years. They got the beneficiaries. Is that what it is? Whatever. The thing is, what you have to realize is, yes, people hate the Thunder. Yes. But as soon as you become scary and a good team, that's when everybody turns on you. I said it. We knew this would happen. You remember the Warriors. I remember being a Warriors fan in 2015. I remember. And I remember hating them when they got the Kevin Durant and they were unbeatable. The Thunder got good and everybody hates them. I remember, was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago. They were the number 1 seed and they lost. They didn't make the finals. They lost. And everybody said, man, that Thunder team, they're gritty. They're tough. They're fun. They're young. They're so awesome. I love them. Next year, they came back dominant. Everybody hated them. They didn't even win yet, and everybody hated them. Everybody was rooting for the Pacers. The Pistons last year, they haven't won anything. Everybody loved the Pistons last year. Fun story. Fun story. They went from 14 wins to 44. Fun story. Everybody hates the Pistons now. And it's safe to say the tides have changed. Enjoy this Wemby love, because that love is going to turn into pure hatred here pretty soon. All right, guys. Now, before I let y'all go, we got to talk about some things, man. I've been seeing people ask questions. Hopefully these people are still here. All right. Let's talk about Knicks Sixers tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. The Philadelphia 76ers are favored by 1.5 points. You know what this means, right? The Knicks are winning. You know what that means, right? Being favored by 1.5 is not a real thing. That's not a real thing. Being favored by 1.5, there's no way. There's no way. That's not really being a favorite. That's just the casinos are scared to say it. Now, here's the issue. Mitchell Robinson, he's sick, so we don't know if he's in. Joel Embiid is also day-to-day. We don't know if he's in. Josh Hart is also day-to-day with his thumb. He's going to play. OG Anunoby is day-to-day. In my opinion, they should rest him. Now, here's what I'll say. It's game 1 in Philly. It's game 1. If they don't have OG, this is the game where Embiid comes back and they win this game. Philly fans, I'm talking to y'all. We all know this is must win. You lose this game, you lose the series. No team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit. So I'll pick the 76ers. Their season's on the line. They have to win this. I'm going to pick the Cavs in game 3 as well. They have to win this game. I'm believing in a team that might not believe in themselves. I will take the 76ers tonight. I hope they don't rush OG back. I know they said day-to-day. I know they said it's not that serious. But I have the Philadelphia 76ers winning. I don't want them to risk OG. I probably won't do a podcast over this weekend. I'm sure you guys understand 3 series or 2-0 right now. If this goes 2-1, it still doesn't change my mind all that much. And then when they play on Sunday, obviously we'll be able to cover both games on Monday morning. because then it'll either be 2-2, it'll be 2-1, or it'll be like 3-1. You know what I mean? Or no, it'll be 3-1, 2-2. You know what I'm saying? So either way, it sets us up perfectly to do no episode this weekend, and we'll just be back Monday morning. If Embiid's out, they lose. If OG's out, the Knicks still have a chance, but it's going to be a little bit tougher. All I'm saying is the Knicks don't need OG to beat the Sixers. They don't. Not the Embiidless Sixers. They don't need OG for that. But they might need him for a Game 3 win. This is different from a Game 2 or Game 4 win. This is a Game 3 win. This is a must-win game for the Philadelphia 76ers. So to win this game, they might need OG. OG's been their best player like all playoffs long. No exaggeration. Like, honestly, if he plays this well moving forward, he would win the conference finals MVP. No doubt in my mind. I'm excited for this game. I have the same X factors as I did before. For the 76ers, their X factor, it's got to be VJ Edgecombe. They can get a 20 bomb from VJ. I think they'll win. It's just like Evan Mobley. If he can get you 20, then they're gonna win. Knicks, it's got to be Karl Anthony Towns. Again, it's got to be Cat, especially if they don't have OG. Cat, play that point center, play it well. Don't turn the ball over. Don't get into stupid foul trouble. Cat, I'm being so dead serious. Do not get into foul trouble. They have nobody to guard you, bro. This is your series. You can do whatever you want against them. Do not get in foul trouble. If he does, GG's. Don't get into foul trouble. All right, guys. I got Philly. In Game 3. But again, it depends. Like, if Embiid doesn't play, if OG doesn't play, like, there's so many things. It's unfair to say who I have winning if we don't even know what the variables will be. You know what I'm saying? So just remember, like, if OG's playing, I got Knicks winning. If Embiid's playing and OG's not playing, I got Philly winning. Okay, so there's a lot of variables, bro. There's a lot of variables. Like I said, if there's no Embiid and no OG, the Knicks win. The Knicks win. If there's no OG and there's Embiid, then I got the Philadelphia 76ers winning. You can't just lose 25 points per game and their best perimeter defender on their team, and they have Embiid. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, yeah, I know you guys want to talk about the Pistons and everything. Yeah, if the Pistons win Game 3, it's a sweep. If the Pistons win Game 3, it's a sweep. It's a must-win game. So that's why I'm hoping the Pistons go with their backs against the wall and say, we have to win Game 3. I'm hoping that they come out with the same intensity. Obviously, role players do not play as well on the road. If the Pistons can get another solid role player game in Game 3, then yeah, that series is over. They'll have sucked all the momentum out of that Cleveland Cavalier team. Even though they don't have any momentum right now, the Pistons have all the momentum. They've won 5 playoff games in a row. All right, now next up, we have the San Antonio Spurs visiting the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Spurs are favorited. Now, Io got hurt again. So I don't know if he's going to be playing. Anthony Edwards is still day-to-day. Dante DiVincenzo's out, right? Yeah, I got the Spurs winning. If Io's in, then maybe they can compete. Here's the thing. The Spurs are favored by 4.5, not David Jones Garcia. No, Lakers have no chance. Not at all. Did you not listen to my Lakers segment? Why are you guys asking me about DeMar DeRozan when this isn't even on topic, guys? I got to stay on topic. If you guys want to talk about DeMar DeRozan in 2026, stay after the podcast. DeMar DeRozan and... This game could depend on a lot of things. If Io plays, I think the Timberwolves can ink this one out. The Spurs defense is incredible. They've been a really good road team all year long. I think this is a more important game for the Wolves to bounce back after that blowout than it is for the Spurs. I already told y'all they won Game 1, and I called before. I said they're going to get absolutely decimated in Game 2 because they got their one. They got exactly what they came for by going to San Antonio. So hopefully they can apply that same pressure and say, okay, we need to win this game. We need to defend home court. Bro, y'all are really asking me about Chaz Lanier. Guy, come on. No, lock in, y'all. The podcast listeners are going to lose their mind by these questions that y'all are asking me. Like, you're asking me about It's my fault for responding to it. I got the Spurs winning, but the Wolves need this game. They don't need it, and that's why I think that they might lose. But this is game 3, first game in Minnesota. I'm going to take the Spurs. They were on fire in the last game. I think I got the Spurs winning. Again, X factors for the Spurs is De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron, come on, bro. Do something. Do something. For the Wolves, bro, who's their X factor now? Who's their X factor? I don't know, man. I don't know. Julius Randle can't be an X factor. He needs to be the best player on the floor. Jaden McDaniels. You got to do it, bro. You got to do it. Jaden, they need more shots out of you, bro. You were only a -6 out of everybody on that team in that blowout. Anthony Edwards was a -33 in that game. Jaden McDaniels was a -6. He's got to lock in. Jaden McDaniels has to be that guy. He has to be. Guys, be sure to join the Discord. Now, before I let y'all go, I got to tell y'all my stud of the night. I think you guys know. I don't pick from losing teams. So it really is between the Thunder and the Pistons and who I believe had a better performance from one single player. Guys, I got to go with the man that converted 60 points for their team. The team scored 107 total, and this guy accounted for 60 of their 107 points. And that's none other than Cade Parker Cunningham. Cade Cunningham last night saved almost all his buckets for the fourth quarter. He had 12 points in the fourth quarter. Cade Cunningham's line last night in 42 minutes had 25 points, 10 assists. That's right, a 25-10 game. Again, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Made James Harden infuriated all night. He shot 7 for 14, 50% from the field, and 50% from 3 for 6, and he went 8 for 8 from the free throw line with 71.5% true shooting. Cade Parker Cunningham, smooth as ever, big as ever, sexy and hot and attractive as ever. That half little smile he does in the post-game interviews when they ask him, when they talk to him, and he does this little half smile. Artie is so jealous of what I talk about when I see him do that half smile. Kay does this weird thing. It's like that. And Artie looks at me and tries mimicking that smile and says, why don't you ever call me cute? Why is it always Cade? Why am I second to Cade? And I said, Artie, you knew what you were getting into when this man got drafted into my team. You knew what you were getting into. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's going to do it for today's show. Podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. I said it'd be a shorter episode today, and we're over an hour. You guys deserved it, though. You guys deserved it. There's no stream tomorrow. There's no stream Sunday, so you guys deserved it. If you guys want to host watch parties or anything in the Discord, feel free over the weekend. Big games this weekend. Big games. Knicks can seal it tonight, 3-0. Pistons can seal it 3-0 tomorrow. Thunder can seal it 3-0 tomorrow. The Spurs can go up 3-1, or the Wolves can go up 3-1. It's going to be a very, 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 very interesting weekend. So be sure to join the Discord. Join the Discord, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking to you, YouTube listeners. I'm talking to you, Spotify and Apple listeners. I'm talking to you, Twitch chat. Join the Discord. Make some friends. Become a part of a community. Not dumbasses on Twitter and TikTok. Join the Discord. If you don't, I'll say it after the pod. It's a family-friendly fucking pod. You hear me? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's going to do it for the week. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And as always, guys, thank you for watching/listening. And I'll catch you guys Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. If you want to be a part of Early Gang, we really go live at 8:30 a.m. and we talk, we hang out, mess around, and then the podcast begins at 9 a.m. Eastern. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, go Pistons. I love y'all. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rest of your Friday. A very sexy Saturday and a spectacular Sunday. Have a blessed weekend, everybody.